hello to all of our friends from Mundo Películas in all of Latin America. So today we're delighted to be joined by another Norwegian artist, Ingrid DØSSI, which surely I've pronounced incorrectly, but that's not a problem. So today we're going to be getting to know a little bit more about her and of course her music. So before anything, Ingrid, I want to say thank you very much for sacrificing your time today to speak to us. And yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you. So just to start off, for everybody to know, what point in your life did you start getting into music, and did you start becoming an artist per se?
I think music has always been a part of my life from like my childhood. I'm the youngest of 3 siblings, and my sister and brother is like 9 years older than me. So I've been most of the time I've been like playing alone, and then I think that made that's why my creativity started going. And I also like storytelling has always been the biggest part of me. So I think music, like writing songs and music, was just like a tool to tell those stories, I think.
Okay, and how do you define your musical style in terms of maybe genre or even feel? Like, do you think like that or not really?
I think like some people have called it melancholic pop, and I think that's kind of that's a good term. I can feel home in that term. Yeah,
I think so. Melancholic is always a beautiful word to have. It always makes me think of The Cure for some reason, because everybody always uses this word for The Cure. That's one of my favorite bands. Yeah, and you have quite a gothic setting behind you today, so it's quite in keeping with the
it's because it's so dark outside here. It's in the middle of the winter.
Okay, so Ben, come in.
Yeah, maybe it's a deep question, but what would you say is your purpose in making music?
I think I try to make like a musical space where people can like escape into, to get a sort of a break from daily stress or emotional stress, or just give people a few minutes to just listen and not think of anything else. So that's probably my main goal with writing music, to, I don't know, make people, allow people to feel what they need to feel at the moment.
Let's Be Okay. It's a very deep and sad song, and when I heard this song, you broke my heart. And and according to the comments on our Instagram, the followers also connect with that emotion, you know. And I said, "Oh, please, someone come hug me and and say me that let's be okay," you know. Whatever. Yeah. What's inspire you to write it?
I think it's the winter and the darkness, and like my mood is very affected by the seasons up here in Norway. It's very big difference from summer to winter, and especially now during this COVID things, everything is just very, very different, and it feels like at times it feels like my life is not going anywhere, like just standing still. And I think that's why I wanted to write that song, because I needed a hint of hope. Yeah, and a hug. That's a nice thing.
And people have a very positive feedback regarding your music. And how do you feel about starting to make a connection with Latin American countries?
It's amazing. I can't even believe it. It's crazy. But it's really, really, really cool. And it's just amazing to know that people can resonate and connect with my music, even though we're we've never met, or just living very, very different lives. It's very powerful to me.
Yeah, that's really cool. And according to what you wrote on your social networks, I'm gonna read this. Some songs are more difficult to release than others in some way. Can you explain that?
It's a hard question. It's like most often when I release songs, they have been finished for a while before they are ready to be released. But this one was, and I also tend to write about past events or past emotional events. But this time I was in the middle of it when I was writing it, and then I just released it straight away. So it was kind of like a newborn baby still. So yeah, I'm still not finished with feeling those things. So I think that's why it's so scary, but also amazing that people resonate with it. Yeah. If it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it makes sense. So in terms of your songwriting process, being a musician myself and interviewing other ones, there tends to be a common theme where the songwriting process and music in general allows the artist to perhaps give something on a social level which they find difficult without music. So for example, somebody who's not very sociable might be very extravagant or very open with the songwriting process or when they're performing, or somebody very social normally might become a little bit more inhibited and be more vulnerable when they're writing songs. Is this accurate for you? Like what things do you not find so easy on a normal day-to-day basis, which you're able to transmit through your songwriting process?
My music is very, very melancholic and sad, and yeah, I don't have many happy songs, but in my daily life, I'm very happy. So I think it's just I get to channel out those feelings through music, and so that I don't have to like linger onto those feelings in my daily life. I can just write about it and kind of like it's like a therapy session, writing music, and just because I have those feelings. It's a very big part of me, but it's nice to not always have to carry those around.
So people see you as kind of super happy, smiley Ingrid, and then they listen to your music and they're like, oh, what's going on with this girl?
No, I'm much better talking about those feelings now than I was before. But
Is that because of music?
I think so, but also because of, there was quite some years in my past that I was not very emotional at all. I was like very flat because of certain things. But then I think music have made me open up, and it's nice to, make something beautiful of something that has been very hard or sad, or it's nice to know that it was meant for something good to happen after. It was just not in vain, kind of.
To take something ugly and make it beautiful. That's very nice. And regarding this as well, is it always very personal, or do you ever take things like you've already spoken a little bit about the pandemic and COVID and the lockdown? Do you ever take other things, but the heavier issues, feminism, climate change, and try and take these issues, or do you keep it all very personal and not try to be too political or things like this?
It's not that I try not to be political, because those issues are very important to me. So it's just that in these, like in my EP project and my upcoming project, that's not the theme of the project. So it's not a climate album or a feminism EP, but because I'm very I like to make bigger stories when I'm write music, so it's part of something bigger.
It's like a concept album now.
Yeah.
And what's the concept?
That's I can't tell.
You're not going to tell us. It's a secret. Okay. Fair enough. So we have to listen and try. Is that because as well? Is that because you don't want to influence people's perception? Because sometimes this has happened to me a lot, where I've listened to a song by a band I love, and I had my own perception of what the song was about. And then when I found out the real reason, it kind of made the song worse than my own imagination. You know what I mean? Like my perception of the song was maybe a little bit more relevant to me, or a little bit more, I don't know. And then to find out the real reason, it made it less personal to me. So it's why you do that. It's
like, I think the past few years, people have been very like, what you have to always tell what the song is about. But for me, I feel like I want people to have their own perception, as you say. Like I can tell my side of the story, but I don't want it to be like, I want people to also get the chance to get their own perception of it. Okay. So yeah.
And how have you kind of like, how do you see yourself now as an artist, as a songwriter, compared to when you started? Like, how has the growth been? How has that process been for you? Like, what's the biggest difference now, do you think?
I think I found my sound more. So it's been like, it started where I just made something that I loved, but it wasn't defining me as an artist, kind of. But now it's more like, I think people notice if it's my music on the radio or whatever, because it has a certain sound. And that's really cool, I think. Yeah.
Of course, I think if people recognize you just by the melancholic nature of the music, then that's a great attribute to have. And I guess as well, perhaps when you begin, you're restricted by the process now, in the sense of getting comfortable on an instrument, getting comfortable with the recording process, and sometimes that inhibits or restricts the actual creation now.
Yeah, but I also think that makes, like, I love picking up an instrument I can't play, because then something like, it broadens the horizon, kind of. So that's also been a good part of my journey, because I've been learning how to produce myself, and I started like not knowing what to do, and then I just, it was just like a playground.
Yeah, we call them in English happy accidents.
Oh yeah. I got loads of those.
Okay, so to carry on with the creative process, Benjamin, I think you have some questions on this now.
Yes. What is your creative process, and what is your favorite creative method, and how do you keep your inspiration going? So good question.
Many questions. I like to start up with a drone, or like a synth or something, to just set the mode, or play some sample I recorded on my phone or something, just to like set the emotional mode in the beginning, and then take it from there. I think that's when I've done that's where the best songs come. And just to like, I don't know, just I tend to write both alone, but also with other songwriters. And it's very inspiring to write with others, because you get other perspectives, and melodies and stuff that you wouldn't have necessarily have come up with yourself. And build on others' creativity is very inspiring. I don't remember every question. What was the last question?
How do you keep your inspiration going?
I try to live, so not being in the studio every day, but yeah, I need to like have something to reflect on and talk to people about what's on their minds. And I don't always write about myself. I also write about like I tend to see the world through emotions, kind of. And then yeah, so it's very inspiring to see how others feel about certain things and how it affects other people, and but it will always be through my eyes, but it doesn't necessarily have to be about me. So yeah, just live on and not always be in the studio.
And will we be able to listen to your music in your native language?
I think so, but not as I said previously, not in this project, but maybe in a future project. I have I don't know if you know, but there are very many different dialects in Norway. So mine is kind of there are not many songwriters singing in my dialect, so I think it would be very cool to do that, but not for now. Maybe in some years.
Which part of Norway are you from?
From the west coast, from a fjord called Hardanger. I don't know.
No, fortunately not. No. Okay, I'm going to go off piste a little bit here, because you just mentioned there, you got me excited when you started talking about starting with drones and things like that, because I love that kind of thing. Like I have a big modular system and I can just sit and listen to a drone for 6, 7, 8 hours and it makes me happy. So yeah. What equipment, like what kind of equipment do you use? Mainly kind of physical hardware equipment, or is it like software synths on both of them?
Both. It depends who I'm writing with and like what's in the studio, but I can sometimes it's just me and my bedroom, so I don't have much equipment. So then it would probably some soft synth or a sample, or yeah, but also a lot of synths. I love that, and modular synths also.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite equipment for the nerds who might be listening?
No. I don't think so. I'm sorry.
Well, but when I said nerds, I meant for me.
I know.
So anyway, this is quite a difficult question, and I get the feeling as well you're quite a shy character. But if I asked you in your own words to kind of describe yourself to the people in Latin America who are obviously perhaps today getting to know you for the first time, if not on a musical level, on a personal level, how would you describe yourself to them?
As a person or as an artist?
Yeah, both. Why not?
I think you captured me quite well by saying I'm shy, but I'm very shy talking about myself, but I'm not really shy. Like I'm quite outgoing person, but I think I'm not the one that takes up the most space in a room. I can be very quiet, but I don't find it hard to talk, but I don't have to be in the center of attention. Yeah, and it's amazing when others can be in the center of attention, then I can just sit and watch. Yeah.
A common theme, because I have lots of Norwegian friends from when I studied my degree in London, and they're generally very quiet and very reserved until you give them alcohol.
Yes.
And then this changes now, and then all of a sudden they're the only people in the room.
I'm so sorry for you.
No, I'm from Manchester. It's quite similar culturally in that respect, at least. The kind of, we were speaking to another Norwegian artist about this the other day. The kind of, I think the similarity is that routine of Monday to Friday, you go to work, you live your life, and then kind of the escape at the weekend, like Friday night until Sunday, you're kind of Pretty much, yeah, with friends, using alcohol as perhaps a method of escape or a method of fun. So you mentioned to us that you have this concept EP coming out. Do you have any plans on releasing like a full long play, a full album?
It's not an EP, it's an album actually, but yeah, so I'm working on an album.
So this is a full length, it's not just kind of like a 20-30 minute one?
It's supposed to be, and I can't say an exact date for when it's out, but
okay,
in 2022, yeah.
In 2022, fingers crossed. And again, a question I should probably have asked earlier, musical influences.
There are many. I think probably Bon Iver. How do you say it?
Bon Iver.
And Sufjan Stevens.
Okay.
Those are like my mains. And then I've heard a lot of, I listened to Olafur Arnalds. He's an Icelandic dude.
Okay.
And you should check him out. He's got a lot of droney things.
Okay.
And it's just beautiful. And also Phoebe Bridgers and Joni Mitchell. Yeah, there are many.
Okay.
But they're all storytellers. So that's probably like the main influence.
Do you write things other than music? Because you've spoken a couple of times about the storytelling aspect of the music. Are you a writer away from music who just likes writing normal stories or things like this?
I've done that a lot, but not now. But I have always been writing stories. When I was little, I thought I was going to be an author, but then it ended up.
Author?
Hey?
Who's your favorite author?
I don't know. It's hard to tell, but of course Hemingway is an icon.
Okay.
Beautiful
Very
language.
Good.
Yeah.
Benjamin.
Yeah. Is there an artist with one you would like to collaborate?
Yes. But it might never happen. But one of those that I just mentioned, Bon Iver would be amazing. But yeah, that's for the future. Hopefully.
Everything is possible.
I hope so.
And what is the next for you in the near future?
There are some festivals coming up, but unfortunately some are being cancelled at the moment. So it's hard to tell, but hopefully more live concerts and festivals, and this album coming up, and yeah, we'll see.
And I know that these are some difficult times, especially with the pandemic scenario, but do you have any plans to come Latin America to sing?
It's not any plans, but it's a dream. I would love to go there. Yeah, so please take me.
Yeah, yeah. I should tell you that here in Chile we have the best wine in the world.
Amazing.
And Mundo Películas, we offer ourselves as your tourist guide for the corresponding wine tours.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Please take me.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for wine.
Yeah. James, do you have any other question?
I guess no, not any specific questions. Just how is the situation there in general with the pandemic? Things are getting quite intense again in Europe. Is everybody okay? Is it quite panicky? How are people finding it in Norway? Because sometimes it's quite difficult to get news from other countries at the moment, which is not perhaps censored.
Well, it's this new version, the Omicron version of the, yeah, that's the big thing now. And I think people are just very tired of having restrictions and having things canceled and not being able to live normally. So I think people are not panicking. People are just very tired and wants it to go back to normal. and it's quite diverse with like those who wants to get vaccinated and those who don't, and yeah, it's hard to unify everyone.
Well, I think the intention from above is perhaps to make sure we're not unified now, which perhaps people need to realize. But well, no, from my perspective, that's everything, Benjamin. You've been incredibly kind to give us so much of your time and to give us so much detail in your answers. As Benjamin says, if you ever want to go to Chile, you have a person there who seems happy to get you drunk. And and if you're ever in Barcelona, equally, I'll be more than happy to show you the Spanish wine, which is not so good, but the end result is always the same now. So
yeah,
that's the important.
I can take you to Norway and drink some cider from the fjords.
So Norway's super expensive now for people who are visiting. Like, people always tell me when they go to Norway, it's like 12 euros for a beer or something, which for you guys is okay because you get paid more.
For us too.
Especially
when you're a musician.
Yes, exactly.
Depends what you do.
Be an artist.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you can always brew your own cider.
You talk from experience?
No, but I have friends.
That must be super strong now.
Yeah, it might be, might not be.
Oh, okay.
You can choose.
You can choose. Oh, okay. I thought it was another one of your secrets where you weren't going to tell us the strength of the cider that you drink. Was the cider part of the creative process, or?
No, I don't drink while I'm playing music. It's a no-go for me.
It discoordinates, you know.
Hey?
It stops you from being coordinated, especially if you're playing and singing.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't work at all. But I can drink after to calm my nerves. I get super, super nervous while playing, so I need it after.
Yeah.
I don't need it, but it's nice.
A celebration.
Yeah.
Okay, so Benjamin, do you have any closing words?
Well, I hope we can have you around in our country soon, or I have to go to Norway to see you in live. It has really been a pleasure talking with you and learning more about your music. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been lovely. Thank you very much. It's been so nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Talk to you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.